Hey everyone, I'm Hayley and welcome back to What the Film School. In today's video, I'm going to talk about working on student films. A few weeks ago, a friend of mine was shooting a short film and he asked me to do the behind-the-scenes photography and videography. Now, I don't usually do behind-the-scenes work, but I figured it'd be a great opportunity to get some behind-the-scenes footage of what a student set looks like to show to you guys. So technically, this film wasn't a student film. I would still classify it as one because pretty much everybody working on that set had gone to film school. My friend who was directing the short film did go to NYU with me. Pretty much everybody on set had already graduated, but I'm going to still consider it a student film just because we are all recent graduates. And the way that everybody was working on set together, the way everything was set up is still like a student film set. So again, I'm just going to show you some of the behind the scenes footage that I captured. I'm going to go through everybody's roles on set so you can see what it looks like for everybody working on a 12-hour shoot day. So in total, the shoot was 3 days long. I was only there for 2 of those 3 days. I'm going to show you mostly from the second day, but I'll include some of the clips from the first day as well. These are 2 different locations. The first shooting day was at somebody's apartment, and then the second day we were shooting inside of an art gallery. So you'll kind of see the difference of the locations. As you watch the footage, you'll be able to see how the crew adapts each day to their new location. So you get to see how people move around the spaces together, where everybody kind of sits and hangs out, and then what happens with all the setup of the equipment and the lights and everything like that. In a nutshell, this short film is about a young girl who is a struggling artist, a struggling photographer. She has her work up in a gallery, but it doesn't really get very many viewers or very many visitors. She's also struggling with some mental issues as well. Throughout the film, you see her struggle with her own art and also her struggle communicating with the other characters and trying to just find a connection with someone. She turns her only relationship in the film into a very unhealthy one, so we see kind of the progression of that throughout the short film.
What do you think?
Were you stalking me?
First off on set, we have our first AC, or first assistant camera. Basically, she's responsible with helping out the DP or director of photography and anything that's associated with the camera. She runs and gets new lenses for him. She watches the monitor, makes sure that everything is set up with the camera. So you can see here she's installing the focus puller mechanism. That's going to help her obviously adjust the focus while we're recording. Obviously, next we have the DP. Again, this is the director of photography or the cinematographer. So he's going to be controlling the camera. He's the one that's setting up all the shots, setting up the camera as well with the first AC. So he works closely with the director, and the two of them kind of figure out what stylistic shots they want to get for which scenes. Obviously, he'll be moving the tripod around, he'll be setting everything up. He's using his phone as a viewfinder at the moment, so he's working with the director to set up the best shot for one of the scenes that we were working on in this apartment. And so here's just one of the kits that's associated with the camera crew. So again, this is just going to be a variety of lenses that they switch to. You can see their focus puller mechanism is there as well. And then those are just a bunch of different little lens filters. Next, we have our actors, a very important role on set. So this film was actually kind of a horror/thriller film. We had some really cool gory effects. We had some blood coming out. They just had to get into a very serious role here, and you can see them working closely with the director to get the best possible performance out of them. And obviously you see our director there working with our actor. He's just coaching him, giving him some notes on his performance before we go in for the next take.
I got him.
Okay. I think you're not breathing at this point.
Points.
Off to the side in some of these shots, you'll see the makeup artist. So she's the one that's responsible for taking care of all the fake blood. And what she's holding here in this shot is a little pump. So she pours the fake blood into the pump. And then when the scene is rolling, basically she just squeezes the device and the blood runs through the little tube and out through the actor's neck. So it's kind of disgusting, but it's actually a really cool department to be in, I think. This was from a different day of shooting. She was adding some bruises on the side of one of the actress's hands. So this is all just using the makeup that she brought. Next, we have the AD, or assistant director. This role should seem pretty obvious. Obviously, he's helping out the director on set. He's kind of the one person on set that oversees all the departments while the director is busy trying to get the shots or working with the actors. So he's making sure everybody's on time, everybody's doing their jobs correctly. He'll basically be the one that gets the scene rolling, so he'll tell the director how much time he has left to shoot the scene. And he'll call out when everybody is ready as well, so you'll see in this next clip him basically get everyone prepared for the next shot that we were going to take. And this was the shot of the throat slit, and that was just a one take that we had to do the entire thing. So the pressure was on a little bit for him for sure, because he wants to make sure that everyone is going to be doing their jobs perfectly.
All right, roll sound please. Going in for a take. And we only
Okay, higher,
have
slightly higher.
we have one for this, right?
Yeah, I mean,
All right.
we gotta do
So let's make it count. Let's roll camera, please. Make sure that we are 100% set before we take it.
Rolling camera.
Scene 17, fresh alpha, take 1, soft sticks.
Frame.
You got the focus more?
I'm out.
You got the
Frame.
focus?
I got it.
Okay.
Frame. Everyone else ready?
Is this good for you, Suzuki?
Yes, it's good.
You
All
want to
right.
stay still, right?
All right. Yep. And action.
Next, we had our sound mixer and boom op on the second day. We had them on the first day as well, but I didn't get as many shots of them. He's just there holding the boom mic, which you can see is going to be over the actors right there in the scene. And then strapped to his chest, which you can't see very well, is a sound mixer, so that just helps him get all the correct audio levels. Normally, it's not just one person managing both the sound mixing and the boom operating, but in this instance, we just had one guy doing it since we were a pretty small set. Next, we had our art team and our production design team, and these guys were pretty cool actually because all of the photos that I'm showing you here in the art gallery were taken by the art production design team. They were cut out and put in these frames all by the production design team.
Everything.
Next, we have our producers. These are the guys that worked with the director before the film shoot actually happened. So again, they kind of are like the assistant director in the sense that they oversee everything, make sure things don't fall apart on set. And they kind of more manage like the budget of things, the logistics of shooting. So it'll be anything from getting the truck rentals, getting the food squared away, making sure that everyone shows up on time, sending out the call sheets for every single day of shooting. And also on these shooting days, they kind of acted as extra hands. So if we were struggling with anything, if we had any questions about the shooting day, then we could go to them directly. And they also had copies of the shooting schedule, so you can see a close-up shot of that. It's a list of every single shot that needed to get done during the shooting day, and then obviously they have copies of script on hand. Next we have G&E, which is grip and electric, so that should be pretty obvious. They set up all the lights, all of the cords, everything that has to do with wiring and setting up all the heavy equipment that isn't the camera. We didn't have a ton of lights on this shoot, which was kind of nice. Pretty much this was the extent of the lighting situation that we had. We used a lot of natural lighting for this second day in the art gallery, which was really great. And then you can see it just plugged into the wall there, bouncing the light off of just a little flag that they set up. Next we have someone who's called the script supervisor or script soup. They are the ones that are looking over the script while the scene is being shot, and they're also recording how long it takes to shoot that scene. So basically they make notes of anything that happens with continuity. So those notes are used by the editor later on so they can see which takes were different from others, which things needed to be adjusted, and how long each scene was shot.
Frame.
Action.
Finally, just here are some extra shots of the set itself. We were shooting in very small locations, so the crew itself was probably about 10 to 15 people, and we would all crowd around the camera, we would all crowd around these rooms, and when there wasn't enough space, some of us had to kind of sit off to the side if we weren't really needing to do anything for that particular scene. Usually for these student sets, they're pretty small crews. You usually have just 1 or 2 people per department, even if that, and some departments aren't even filled out. Last but not least is craft services, which is one of the best parts about working on set because craft services just means free food. So that's just any food that's provided on set to you and it's part of your working day. Usually you'll see lunch, dinner, and snacks if you're working a 12 to 14 hour workday on set. So if you guys want to see more behind the scenes footage like that, definitely subscribe to my channel, hit the bell notification so you get notified every time I post a video, and I'll definitely try to get on some more student sets so you can see what things look like from set to set. Don't forget to find me on social media, all the links will be down in the description below, and go check out my blog, w2filmschool.com, where you'll be getting exclusive content directly from me. Thanks again for watching, I'll see you guys again soon. Bye!